This song may seem a little dark at first, but it's about being stuck in your life situation and realizing that there is a dream waiting on you.
Everything stands still, time lingers on, a voice becomes a shrill, a moment in rewind, a soul silent scream, to walk a higher plane, on graces you obtain, unwinding rusted chains you'll find. A dream waits on you, it's hidden from your view. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you. Wilting of this time, closing every eye, leaves open doors behind. Don't know where you are. Cracks beneath the skin slowly fall apart. An opened and frayed heart, flowers through the haze you'll find. A dream waits on you, it's hidden from your view. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you. A dream waits on you, you hid it from your view. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you and you and you. Time waits for no one, all there is now. It's always up to you to wake up and take up your. A dream waits on you, it's hidden from your view. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you, you and you and you. A dream waits on you, a dream waits on you. A dream waits on you, it's always there for you and you and you and you and you and you.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Agape. If you're joining us for the first time, let me just share with you that agape means the love of God operating through the human heart. In other words, it's Greek for unconditional love. And here at Agape, we talk about that love means to accept. So that when we're self-loving, we're self-accepting. When we're loving others, we're accepting others. And so this love thing is an acceptance thing. It has nothing to do with romance. So I welcome you and thank you for taking your time to join us on this most perfect day. And what I want you to do is we're simulcasting this on Facebook, 3 different channels, and on YouTube. So please check in. Let me know you're out there. Give me high fives. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Give me your comments. Say hi to people. But check in on social media. The more we check in, the more the social media intelligence spreads this message out to more and more and more people. And so what I'm coming to understand is that we are attracting more and more people to this message of agape, this message of using the science of mind, because people are getting serious about wanting to change their lives. People are looking for two things in this world at this time. The first thing they're looking for is meaning. What is my meaning? What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life to me? Why am I doing this? What is behind it? We're seeking that idea, that meaningness. And then the next thing is connection. Connection to our inner self, connection to that which is infinite, and connection to others, connection to nature. We're seeking those two things, and that is becoming, whether we realize it or not, the primary drivers in our life. And so what we're doing at Agape now, we're in the midst now. We've begun a 10-week series on how to use the science of mind by Ernest Holmes. And last week we did the first talk. Today we're doing part 2, the law of mind and action. But before we do that, let's get ourselves grounded. Let's bring ourselves into a state of perfect receptivity. So I invite you to sit comfortably with your back straight, your hands gently resting on your lap. Close your eyes and let your body and your mind begin to relax. With every breath you're breathing, your body becomes more relaxed. With every breath you breathe, your mind becomes more peaceful. The deeper and deeper we go into relaxation and inner peace, we become more receptive to the infinite wisdom that is within us. We open ourselves up to know and hear guidance, truth, wisdom. And as we open up to it and we listen, that which is within us makes its way known. So no matter where you are in your life, no matter what your experience, no matter where you're living, the infinite power that we call God, universal mind, infinite intelligence, spirit, is everywhere present, always present, all-knowing, all-powerful, and it's here right now, right where you and I are. We open our minds to receive its wisdom, its guidance, as we so ask. And so in this state of receptivity, we start to bring our awareness back to this time, to this place, knowing that the answer we seek is being brought forth within us now. And we simply listen, we act, we speak, we feel in alignment with that wisdom, and our lives are transformed. So gently bring your awareness to your body, to your thoughts. Start to move a little bit and come back to this time, this place, and this life. And open your eyes and welcome back. So today, we're going to continue on our series, How to Use the Science of Mind. This is part 2, the law of mind in action. And at the end of part 1, I talked about the statement that Ernest Holmes made, and I talked about how I tweaked that statement. And I want to start there. I want to implant that as the basis for our conversation today. And that statement is, there is a creative power, and it is everywhere present. It is always responding to the nature of our thoughts, and we can consciously choose how to use it. Think about that. There is a creative power. A creative power. One, not many, one creative power. Where is it? It's everywhere because it's one creative power. And this power is always working. That's why it's always responding to what? The nature of our thought. Our thought is the vessel and how we use it. And here's the key thing. That power is working 24/7, 365, whether we're conscious or unconscious of it. And here's the key. We can consciously choose to use it, or we can unconsciously use it. But either way, it's always our choice. And you see, here's the thing about that, is that we cannot separate thoughts from things and hope to demonstrate things through our thinking. You see, thoughts and things are really the same thing. You can't have a thought without a thing. You can't have a thing without a thought. Before there was a car, there was a thought of a car. Before there was a mattress, there was a thought of a mattress. The thought generates a thing. The thought is the cause. But because the thought is cause, there must be the effect. There must be the outcome. So there's no way to separate that. So as we look at this process of creativity, we begin to understand at a deeper level that the thought is where it begins, and we cannot separate, so that whatever our life is demonstrating is the result of the thoughts we are thinking. And you see, we must develop a deep conviction that our word is operated on by spiritual law. No matter what we are speaking, spiritual law hears. It's like Santa Claus. You can't hide from Santa Claus. Guess what? Santa Claus is not real. But this spiritual law that creates is, and it knows every thought that you and I think. Now, it doesn't just generate every thought, it generates the atmosphere, the thought atmosphere of our thoughts. Because God bless, if it generated every thought when we had it, our lives would be absolutely crazy. So it's about our thoughts create a frequency, and the frequency of our thought atmosphere, the frequency of our thought patterns draws unto us. So there, we've now brought in the element of time into the creative process. You see, a spiritual practitioner works with ideas. And what I'm going to tell you is that if you are listening to this and you're consciously using this creative power, you are a spiritual practitioner. So when I'm talking about a practitioner, I'm talking about you or anyone who is using this spiritual law to create. And what a spiritual practitioner understands, they're working with ideas. They work in the realm of the mind, resolving things into thoughts with no sense of personal responsibility, because they are not the doer. The law is the doer. You see, I create my experience, but I'm not responsible for the creating of my experience. This law responds to my thought. It creates my experience. It brings the car, the home, the health. The law does that. I don't do that. I have no power, but I can direct the law. For me, it's like if you have a laser, you have the ability, you're not the laser, you're not the light shooting out from the laser, but you can point the laser wherever you want, and where you point it, the laser goes. This is what our thoughts do. Our thoughts do the exact same thing. Where we direct our thoughts, the law knows that direction, and if we hold that direction with belief, conviction, belief and conviction, think about that. Belief means we've aligned all of our thoughts, words, actions, and feelings towards something, and conviction means we hold it. We don't deviate from it. Here's where most people make a mistake. In an hour period, they may have set an intention, built what they say is a belief, and in that hour have had 52 different other thoughts that contradict what they want. So the law responds by not responding, by not changing anything, because the overall mental atmosphere hasn't changed. What's happened is we've given the law confusion, confusing thoughts, contradictory thoughts. And so we wonder why at times our lives are in confusion, why our minds are not clear. It's because of what we're putting out. And what we put out always comes back to us. It must, because it's the law. You see, you as a practitioner, do not put power into the law. You put no power into the law. You use the power of the law by directing it toward your desired outcome. And it knows when you're serious. The law knows when you're serious because you hold the thought. Not only do you hold the thought, but your words are aligned with the thought. The feelings behind your words and thoughts are aligned. And the actions that you are taking are aligned. And so by directing your beliefs, thoughts, words, actions, and feelings toward, the law says, yes, that's where they want me to go. And the law then just does it. You see, when a wrong condition does not seem to change, it may be necessary to resort to the process of gradual conversion of thought from fear to faith. And I'm going to venture to say that this is most of the time. We don't seem in human form to be able to generate immediate results. And that's because we can't seem to shift our belief that quick. And so I've embodied the idea, and I think Ernest Holmes said this really clearly when he talked about prayer demonstrating. Ernest Holmes said there's a natural evolution in the demonstration of a prayer. What did he mean by that? There's a natural time in which it takes for that prayer to become answered, and that time is based on our ability to build a belief. In other words, our thoughts, words, actions, and feelings align toward a specific result, held persistently and consistently, consciously and unconsciously. Do you notice how I added the word and consciously and unconsciously? The reason I do that, what if you're consciously thinking a certain thought, but then when you're unconscious, you're thinking the contrary thought? They negate each other, don't they? And when they negate each other, nothing changes. And that's what happens to most people most of the time when they're trying to use the creative power. They don't realize that they may have unconscious thought patterns that are negating what they desire. And so the idea is, how do we build this conscious thought pattern into our unconscious thought pattern as well, so that both the conscious and the unconscious are aligned? You see, this is the process of building a new belief in the human mind. And the process of building that belief can take time. You see, in the divine, there is no time. It's only in the human form that time exists. In the divine, it's always now. And whoever we are in the now, this law, the divine, gives us. So think about that. If you're praying for $1 million and you don't have $1 million, you've got $25, well, then your consciousness in this now is $25. If next week it's $37, well, you have a consciousness of $37. There's time involved. How much time? It depends on you. It depends on how you do the work. And when I say work, it's thoughts, words, actions, and feelings align toward a specific result, held persistently and consistently, consciously and unconsciously. That is our work. You see, the law of mind is mechanical and mathematical in reacting to our thinking. Mechanical and mathematical. It gives exactly what we put into it. So clarity of thought produces a clear and concise outcome based on the mental image one provides the law. Our clarity of thought produces a concise outcome. What is the mental image we've created in our mind? Because that mental image is the one the law says, and says, yes, indeed. In other words, here's the key thing. Picture that you've got a slide, and on that slide, you've painted an image. When you shine a light through that slide, it goes and it shows on the wall. Whatever's on the slide is what the light will show on the wall. That's the same thing with the law. What is the slide you're giving the law? When you're talking about a relationship, what characteristics of the relationship have you put on the slide? Have you had fun, peaceful, joyful? Have you had support? Have you had that it mutually serves, that it shows freedom, that each of you are free to do what you want? Does it show that you're attracted to each other? Does it show that you interact? Does it show that you explore? Does it show that you appreciate life? Does it show you share common values? Does it show? What is in your image? Because whatever's in your image will be the relationship you have. Our clarity in creating our vision determines what we get back. The law always mirrors back to us who we are. You see, and when a practitioner, you or I, we do prayer for someone else, we're endeavoring to bring into our consciousness a spiritual realization about the person we're seeking to help, to support. See, the faith we're building is not in me. I'm not building faith in me when I do treatment, but I'm building faith in the power of the law. And it is my faith in the law and the image that I'm putting out there causes the law to be used, as I would term, correctly. So if I'm treating for someone for clarity, what I'm treating for is that I see that person is clear. I see that divine wisdom is flowing through them, as I know divine wisdom is flowing through me, and that I am clear. Because I cannot treat for someone else to be clear if I'm not clear myself. So first off, I treat that I am clear. I know that right now infinite wisdom is guiding and directing Lee Wolak to the clarity of vision to see life with respect to money in a way where he is on target. He sees exactly what is going on. And as Lee sees this, he can know this for Charles and know that because Lee and Charles are one with God and that we're in the same infinite mind, that what I know for myself, I can know for Charles because what is true for me is true for Charles. And so he is clear on abundance and wealth and building prosperity. I know that because I know it for me. And what I know for me, the law will give for someone else. So here's the key thing. You can't want something for yourself and not want it for someone else, because we're all individualizations in the power of God, in the mind of God. We're all expressions of God. So if you believe you're abundant, you should want abundance for everyone else. If you want health, you should want health for everyone else. If you want peace, you should want peace for everyone else. Whoa, Lee, stop. I don't want to give peace to my ex. I want that SOB to be just miserable. No. If you want that SOB to be miserable, you're going to be miserable too. This is the power of the law. It gives you your consciousness. You see, we as practitioners must learn to believe that causes and conditions are identical. When treating for someone who is surrounded by confusion, we clear up the confusion in our own mind, and in doing so, the circumstances surrounding the one we are working with change. We've got to clear our mind. I can tell you this, I've been in the hospital where I've gone to visit someone who is struggling with health. And there was a time when I looked at that individual and I could not see health. I could not do my spiritual mind treatment. And what I did was I actually went into the next room to do my spiritual mind treatment so that I could see health. Because if I couldn't see health, I couldn't believe. If I couldn't believe, the law would know. That was a trick that the magnificent Reverend John Webster taught me. He was a master at working with people who were struggling with illness in the hospital. He says, you have got to see them as healed and whole. You cannot see them as sick in your mind. Because they may be sick in their mind, but in your mind, you have to see them as healed. Otherwise, prayer will not work. You see, the effective practitioner of this science knows the process of building a new belief, and in doing so will direct the law to produce a new outcome. You see, there is never anything outside of ourselves, ever. It's always within us. Anytime we want to change, it's always within us. So we come back in part 2 to where we started. There is a creative power that is everywhere present. It is always responding to the nature of our thoughts, and we can consciously choose to use this power. I invite you today to begin using it for the greatest image that you can for yourself, and commit your life to being a conscious creator, a practitioner of the science of mind. Let us pray. As I go within, I tap into the awareness that I am one with infinite mind. This all-powerful wisdom, creative power, knowing that which is seen, the unseen, the known, the unknown, the unknowable, that which always was and always will be, realizing that I am an individualization of it, as is each person listening is an individualization of it. As such, I now know that the clarity that each of us is seeking in our own unique way is now birthed into our mind. And that clarity allows us now to more effectively use this creative power that responds to the nature of our thought. My faith is in this power. My faith is in its wisdom. My faith is in the fact that I can use this power to create. My faith is using that power right here, right now, as I make this declaration for me and for everyone listening to my words. I know that my life is transformed. I know that your life is transformed. And I accept it as so. In accepting it as so, I bless it. I give thanks for it. I go into deep gratitude. And then I let it go and release it because I know it is done. And so it is. Amen. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. And if this message touched you, I invite you to use the law of circulation by making a donation, giving back to Agape, so that we can continue to take this word out into the world. So you'll notice on Facebook there'll be a link to give. On YouTube there'll be a link to give, or go to AgapeCSL.com, click the Give tab, and make a donation. Do so because you understand that as you receive, you give. As you give, you receive. We don't ever ask for anything for nothing. At Agape, we are constantly seeking ways to support you. And so I want to invite you as you give to realize there's so much more, so many ways you can tap in. And the ways you can all be found on AgapeSpiritualCenter.com. Every morning there's meditation that you can join. At 8 o'clock, I do a thought that can change your life for 8 to 12 minutes each and every day, 7 days a week, every day of the year. We have Agape gatherings on Wednesdays. We have our Sunday gatherings. And starting May 16th, we're going to be offering classes again. We're going to offering the Mastery of Self on Sunday. And then again, we're going to offer it on Tuesdays. And then if you want to learn to meditate on Monday night, we're going to learn how to meditate. So if you're interested in these classes, you can go to the Agape website and sign up today. Also want to remind you that we are going to begin doing in-person services for those of you who are living in DFW or visiting DFW. We're going to begin on May 23rd. That information can also be found on the website. But know that if you are not in Dallas, we won't stop serving you on Sunday. We are here for you because we are a worldwide community. And what we teach and practice is science of mind to the purpose of better able to being in self-love through conscious living. So I want to tell you, thank you for taking your time and listening. Thank you for committing to your higher involvement. And thank you for being you. Because by being you, I can look you in the eyes and I can say, I love you and I accept you just like you are. Go create a great week.